a party for consensus building among the different stakeholders. I quite appreciate that in a polity like that, you need a lot of political wisdom to navigate the voters. But the wisdom has to transcend all the shades of opinion. Why was Audu picked? Because actually his tribe happens to be the largest in the state. And he happens to command the biggest and the greatest followership in the state. That is sensible. But we also have to know that if Faleke is upgraded to that particular position, which is legal and reasonable, then it is also pertinent and expedient that you go and pick somebody from Audu's background, from his geopolitical zone, to be the running mate to Faleke. But as it is now, to now settle for a fresh candidate is also going to cause further ripples within the APC and will damage the party further and give room for PDP that has no claim to this thing at all because the party has been roundly defeated.
If I'm not mistaken, they said the only choice, this gentleman, I said the only choice now is for Faleke to just step into the shoes.
There are many legal landmines. You know, my worry really is the fact that for Faleke to have boldly come out to write to INEC, that is what's making the headlines. Yes. But the fact that he also wrote to his own party tells you that...
Step aside,
yes,
guys.
Tells you clearly that, you know, the interest blocks within the party. Exactly. You look at the fact that some people are rooting for Audu's son. Yes. So some are rooting for his runner-up in the Yabelum and all that. The fact that they have not been able to reach a consensus between that time and now sort of tells me that, you know, if the APT, if the APC is not careful enough, this matter may steep them in bigger mess. Because, I mean, for him to have come out to write a letter openly, using the little political locus and capital he has, yes, to have written a letter, tells you that they've not been able to settle this matter within the party, so he is having to cry out. Actually, INEC will not listen to that because they've already said what they are going to do.
Is INEC right?
Yes.
That's another question. But we will get to that question, but quickly. So you think the party, APC, will listen to Faleke? Will the party listen?
Well, I think they owe it to themselves to do.
Because Faleke is making much sense. Is that what you're saying?
Of course. The party invested in a joint ticket between Audu and Faleke. Ordinarily. Assume, I mean, like you said, it is reasonable and logical. The ticket is on Audu and Faleke. So if the elections had gone on, and whatever the case was, you know, this man had, unfortunately, right now, you know, because the law is blind to this to this matter, the matter has been thrown at the party's doorsteps, and because they are, you know, as it were, they are unable to resolve it to get somebody to step into Audu's shoes. We are now seeing all of these things coming up. But I think it's reasonable to say, okay, since your boss is gone, you step in, take the ticket first. We can always sort out internal matters subsequently. But for the now, the ticket has been between Audu and you. So you continue. When you have taken the power, then we know what to do. But unfortunately, you know, Dakbo, I think that for him to have actually spoken out, I know what I'm saying. Tells you that, you know, even within the party, there are serious divides that must be taken into cognizance. I fear that, and I hope that they don't get to, you know, be in this delay fast. How many days do you have to December 1 now?
No, somebody can go to court and ask the election to be stopped.
But okay, and again, there's a fact that, like Ejimo now, that we'll know that Faleke contributed to the votes that the party had. So how do we differentiate between Faleke's vote and Audu's vote?
You know, that is exactly what we are talking about. You know, it will be an attempt to differentiate between six and half a dozen, because this is a, you know, what happened during the election. Maybe you were not there. People who were on ground, you know, they saw the enthusiasm on the part of people because they were rooting for change. You know, and the change, it wasn't standing on one leg; it was standing on two legs.
That's the Audu and
Faleke. And we saw the support from the Kogi West, Kogi West and Kogi East and the whatever. But please, I need to come more. I need
briefly,
to say
because
something.
I need to chip in something.
Exactly. I need to say something to what Siri said. Now, APC should be very careful at this point in time, you know, not to allow internal wranglings to rob them of what is there.
Do you sense there will be something like that?
Exactly. That is what
there is
already one.
There is one.
Otherwise,
it took Faleke 4 days to write.
To write another. They should have.
It means within that 4 days,
because let him finish, because it was morning. That could be the reason.
He was there. He has been mourning since Sunday. You know, it was Monday and all those things. Even at that, he would have just instructed his lawyers
this takes us to the second question, really.
Okay.
And now, briefly, before I go to today,
okay.
If Faleke has to do it now, if you want to do a good calculation, if Faleke has to continue or assume the position of the governor, or yes, that instance. So what do you think he has to do now? He has to pick a running mate from where? From the Igala tribe or the Ebira tribe, or he cannot even try the Okun. Is it possible? Where do you think he can try?
That is not possible. You see, Providence in its unique way, you know, has naturally balanced the political inequality that has always existed in Kogi State. In
simple English, please. So, in simple English, what do you recommend?
What I recommend is that, you know, going forward, Kogi East, that is the senatorial district of the deceased. Yes, you know, they should get someone from there, and I don't mind even, you know, but Audu is a political heavyweight in that state. He has a lot of proteges and all that. They should get someone who is committed to his cause.
Like his son?
And well, you said it.
It's a question I didn't say. I'm asking.
Yeah, that is not a bad idea.
Okay, let me go to today. What do you think?
Well, like I said, the strength of a political party is its ability to build consensus and agree on a particular thing that is common to all. The popularity and the life of the APC as a party in Kogi State is on the line now.
So you're saying you're sensing internal issues?
And the internal issues, there are different tendencies within any political party. All these tendencies are just coming up now with the death of Audu, who has been the unifying factor of that particular party in Kogi State. Okay. And this is the first time that Aonokuman will by act of providence, assume that position of governor of that state. They are a minority in that particular state. But you cannot discontinue the influence of the Galas that Audu represented. Like he has said, the best thing to avoid this thing is to move Faleke upward to be governor of the state and ask the party and the House of Assembly, as per the provision of the Constitution, to nominate somebody from the Igala tribe.
Okay, the party has to do that.
The party has to do that. It is the onus is on the party. But by the time the party is divided, it gives room for the PDP and all these legal ruling. Lawyers will now profit from it, and we have a lot of injunctions.
You can see what is going on for someone from Lagos, a lawyer from Lagos writing that the INEC should. The same lawyer that went to court and said the government should cancel sanitation.
It seems all of a sudden we have many lawyers in this country, because I've been seeing a whole lot of people and different shades of opinions.
What is happening in Kogi is the crassest form of realpolitik.
A crass.
What you know, to amplify what my colleague has said here, conceding the office of the deputy governor to power brokers seems like a big concession, but that's just the first step. Practically speaking, we need to be asking the question: what is Faleke willing to give in order for, because you know the letter I wrote was to Oyegun. I don't know whether I copied the state chairman of the party. Because the impression is that he is a politician with Kogi ancestry. But has he really been a grassroots man with us here?
Sorry,
all those are issues.
Can you do me a favor? Maybe reserve your thoughts, because I have the first caller. Mohammed is calling from Kogi. Good evening, Mohammed. No, I didn't even take too long. Maybe try and call back again.
It's okay. So you ask yourself, what is he willing to give? Because, you know, I mean, this is a man who has spent all his life in Lagos. He even represents the Lagos constituency in Abuja. So he is seen as someone belonging to a political bloc that is not probably so indigenous or so local to them. All of these are things that you need to take into serious consideration. So we need to be asking, what will he be willing to give? Because I mean, nothing is really
sacrosanct.
Yeah, but I think, you know, is a fear that if we give this thing to him, what will be the implication for and on us who have, you know, been in this and who have labored and worked here. So we need to know if he is willing, you know, to meet the terms and conditions of those who who will stick their necks in
That
the
would
dust
be-
and say
that would
we
be
will.
decided
So
not here.
maybe step aside.
No,
Maybe
what
step
I-
maybe
that-
step
that was
aside.
decided
but-
within
Maybe
closed
step
doors.
aside after 4 years and give it back to the gala, something like that.
Whatever it is willing to give. But the point is we need to be clear so that it doesn't just look as if we are speaking into the air. Something has to give for him to be accepted.
Good evening, John. You're calling from Kaduna. Good evening, John.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, first case, I was of government individuals. I want the commission elect. So I don't think it's fit.
John, there's no doubt that the network is not friendly. I can barely hear what you are saying. Try and call back, please. Thank you very much. And the next question, gentlemen, is, I don't know, it seems you've answered that already. Should INEC conduct a fresh election between WADA and whoever APC presents as his new candidate? That's the two questions in one. Do you think APC will present a new candidate? And if there's a new candidate, should INEC still go on with the election?
See, what INEC will always do its own constitutional role, perform its
As per the
constitutional
Electoral
role
Act.
as per the electoral
I need to
act.
beg your pardon.
You know?
I need to quickly take Musa from Zamfara. Good evening, Musa.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening, sir. My contribution is that, hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, we
Good
can hear
evening,
you.
Musa. We
Go
can hear
ahead.
you. Just go on.
Speak up.
Yes, my contribution is that we should not forget Taraba issue.
What's happening? What's the latest in Taraba?
Because Falake did not do primary.
Okay.
Remember the issue that primary was not conducted for Falake. So that if they put Falake there, the PDP will take it. They will go to court and take it from Koji for APC.
Okay, so we should use the Taraba as a case study. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
These are the
You know,
things
the
that
fear, I'm coming. The fear of Musa, you know, is of course it doesn't hold water because the one of Darius Ishaku in Taraba is quite different. He was never part of the primary.
Yes.
Now we had concluded, as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't take what INEC announced in Lokoja last Sunday as sacrosanct. We had a concluded election because looking at all the facts points to the fact that that election was won and lost.
So you can assume that Audu won the election even without the return certificate of return.
Yes, of course. That is what APC should do. APC, no, I'm coming. APC should approach courts and ask for judicial interpretation of figures or facts.
I think somebody should have done that a lot.
No, that is the way. That is the way to go.
Even people are saying the Attorney General should even confront the Supreme Court to seek a better interpretation, because some people are saying the Attorney General might not even be right with his statement.
Yes, of course. As far as I'm concerned,
he
is not. Right? Yes, of course.
Let me go to you today. I'll come to you, Cyril. What do you think? Should there be a new election? Is the Attorney General? Do we need a better interpretation of this?
I think it is unthinkable to have a new election, because when you have a new election, there are two implications. Number one, the financial implications for INEC. Number two, the political temperature of the state will be honestly high with the death of that man. And it will mean that all the efforts of the past, the election was conducted because of Audu. It was conducted because there has to be a governor in that state. And the 21 candidates represented each of the political parties in the country. It was really a fight between the APC and PDP. So the Electoral Act only recognized the party.
I have to interrupt you again, and I'll come straight to you. I'm sorry. Okay. I have Aliu from Niger State. Good evening, Aliu.
Good evening, Dapo.
Good evening, sir.
I don't know. For me, I will say that INEC is right and INEC is wrong.
Okay.
Why do I say that? INEC position for not to declare that election conclusive is totally wrong, because INEC is the custodian of PVC. So INEC should have known.
Custodian of PVC.
INEC is right
to
ask for replacement of that very candidate, because INEC was written by the APC officially that the candidate have demand. But coming back to the reality of what is going on with Falake, The last caller has said something about the issue of primary certificates. Believe me sincerely, he is making a lot of sense. Whether you like